Hey guys, welcome back to F&G Whiskey. Today we've got our biggest store haul, and we may even have a few unicorns. Hey guys, welcome back to F&G Whiskey. So today we're going to do a store haul video, and basically I thought that I wasn't going to do one of these for a while because I was still trying to recover from, everything that I spent during allocation season. I have a certain bourbon budget and try to keep that to a minimum and have a certain amount kind of applied to each month. But a ton of store picks have hit, and honestly, there was a few bottles I just couldn't pass up. So first we're going to start off with these. New Riff just hit Colorado, so I was able to get a couple store picks. The fun thing about these is they really do vary as far as flavor. I mean, these have the flavor profiles written right on the side, and they taste very, very different, which is kind of rare. Sometimes in single barrels, I think they're pretty similar to a degree. But these New Riff ones, although they drink a little sharp because they're, quite young, they definitely don't lack in flavor. So I was able to get a couple of these, both coming in at 56%, so about 112, 113 as far as proof here. So a couple New Riff bottles. Next on the docket, able to get not one, not two, but 3 Buffalo Trace store picks. Pretty happy about that. Not usually a big Buffalo Trace person because I usually like higher proof, but I did open one of these and absolutely loved it. So thought maybe that flavor profile was going to follow through all the new barrels. And so I was able to pick up a few of these. I've already gotten to 2 of these. One of them is on par with like a Blanton's in my eyes. So I was really happy with that. So happy to get these store picks. While I was picking up one of these store picks, they had an Eagle Rare, and this was at MSRP, so I couldn't pass it up. It was the last one on the back shelf of this particular store. So I pick it up, and then I hear an old man getting, kind of disappointed that there was no more Eagle Rare. And he goes up to the guy, and he's like, hey, do you have any more Eagle Rare? And he's like, oh, I don't know. So I was walking over to hand him mine, and that's when the guy came from the back with another box. So, yeah, I mean, Eagle Rare at MSRP, I can't pass it up. All right, next on the list. I think this is one of the best bottles in bourbon right now. These store picks are absolute fire, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of the Blue Note store picks. They are rumored to be from Green River, which I haven't had, but if this is any influence of what Green River is going to be putting out, I'm all on board. These are great flavor. They range from 118 all the way up to 124 in proof. And I've tried to look up information on these. I really don't know an age status on them, but they drink great. I really love them. I'm really in on the Blue Note, so got a few store picks of Blue Note here. All right, so next on the docket, I was referred to this bottle, Trails Inn 8-year, and it's finished in apple brandy casks. So that kind of got me, hey, let's try it out. I will do a review on this later and kind of let you guys know, but I figured, an 8-year Kentucky bourbon finished, and I believe it came in about $55. Sign me up all day. Next, this is a Maker's Mark store pick. Now, this particular store submitted this to the whiskey, competition and got gold. And as you can see, I put a major dent in this bottle. I absolutely love this bottle. If you're in Colorado, hit me up. I'll let you know what store it is. But I highly recommend this Maker's Mark store pick. Super happy about this one. I haven't seen one of these in about 2 or 3 years. This particular company or group here in Colorado requested this bottle. And there was kind of some drama behind it. The store put it out, I believe, a couple days early, so it was free to the public, and they didn't put a limit on it. So as you can imagine, in Colorado, they were flying off the shelves. A buddy of mine told me about it, so I hot-tailed it down there. When I got down there was only about 12 bottles left. So, I called him and I was like, dude, are you going to get here? What's the deal? And so I did buy 2 bottles. I bought one for me, one for him. I didn't want to be a hoarder because the guy was like, you can have a case if you want, but I didn't want to be a hoarder. So I got one for me, one for him. And then there was a little bit of drama behind it because he posted it on a Facebook store pick site, and this group just kind of was hounding him for it. But super happy to get it. And I want to do a review on this one also, so you should see that soon. Next on the list, Old Ezra 7. But this is the rye foolproof. And I wasn't a huge fan of the original offering, the bourbon. The mellow charred, or whatever they call it on these, charcoal mellowed, kind of overpowered the bourbon for me and just left kind of a bad taste in my mouth. My first bottle, I believe, was bad, but my second bottle, I just got too much of that mellow corn or whatever charcoal mellowed flavor, and just wasn't a fan. I have had one pour of this. Jury's still out on this bottle, but yeah, we'll definitely get a review on this one soon. All right. I think one of the best values in bourbon out there is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. You're getting a barrel proof offering, 12-year age statement, and these are always coming in at 125 and up, can vary. I think I've seen them as low as 118, but one of my favorite pours. This is actually the A123 batch, which the C batch hasn't even hit Colorado. The store I talked to, I'm not supposed to mention that. So I got this out of state. Said they got it sent to them incorrectly. So yeah, definitely have a review up on this bad boy soon. At one of the stores where I got the Blue Note, I was able to grab a Knob Creek store pick. I just killed my 12-year, and review on that's coming up. And wanted a store pick, and this store I think does great picks. So I picked this one up, $55. I think this one's like a 9-year. Yeah, 9 years old. Can't go wrong. So yeah, Knob Creek store pick. All right, now we get to the fun bottles. So one of the bourbon companies that or bourbon groups that I'm attached to, did a 15-year-old, this is a 375 milliliter, but it's a 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. So I'm super excited about this. I'm actually thinking about cracking this up for the draft here in a couple days. But yeah, it was a little pricey. I probably spent more than I probably should, but 15 years old, sourced from Kentucky. I mean, it screamed to me George T. Stagg. I'm sure it's not from Buffalo Trace. I'm sure it's from somewhere else, but I figured it was no brainer. You know me, my Weller store picks. I got another Weller foolproof store pick. Been super lucky this year. This is one of those bottles where if you see it, you just buy it because you don't know for years to come if they'll even get them again. So I was super excited. There is a story behind this bottle. So a store up north Denver got a Weller foolproof pick, and they flew off the shelves. And then on that following Monday, a rival store up north got their pick and put it out. Well, a buddy told me at like 9 o'clock, and I was like, well, by the time I get out there, they'll be gone. Because when these hit, normally there's lines around the store. Well, this one was not, it was a secret. Nobody really knew about it. So my buddy got up there around 11 o'clock, and he's like, dude, they still had about 3 or 4 cases. You might want to head up. So I drove all the way up there. And I think there was like 8 bottles left when I got this one. So I was able to get this bad boy. And then also on the trip, I figured I'd make a trip out of it. They had one of the Buffalo Trace store picks and one of the Blue Note picks. So great haul for me. I did a little short on it. So if you want to check out my shorts, you can see that, or it's also on my Instagram and my TikTok. So yeah. And last but not least, Jack Daniel's 12-year. So the good story about this is I have a medium-sized store that I frequent. They often give me allocated bottles that they get. Now, they don't get a lot of allocated bottles, so I still have to hunt. And a buddy of mine that lives up north shot me a message and said, hey, this store you know of supposedly got about 10, got the Jack Daniel's 10. And I was like, all right, I'm heading there. So I drove down there. While I'm driving down there, I text another buddy who's really, really hunting for this bottle. I said, hey, I'm on my way to blah, 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 and they may have this bottle. So I get there. They didn't have the 10, they had the 12 and the 10. So it was one per customer. I got the 12. I then text my buddy, dude, get down here. They've got a case left, and he was able to get a 12. So when people ask me, how do you get allocated bourbon? It's relationships, but it's not only relationships with stores, it's also relationships with friends. If you've got good friends that find good bottles, this particular guy who I found this bottle for sat at a Total Wine for about 15 minutes while I got down there so that I could get that Jack Daniel's limited edition. So yeah, that's one thing I absolutely love about the bourbon community is you can find some really cool people. Of course, there's some trolls out there, but there's also some good people. So yeah, that's my store haul. Probably way more than I probably should have bought, but sometimes when you see bottles that are pretty special, it's hard to pass up. So as I always mention, we're trying to build a bourbon community. So, you know, Instagram, TikTok, any of those, you know, give me a follow, like, comment, subscribe. I'd really like to know what bottles are you guys looking at, you know, looking for this season. There's some pretty decent bottles that have kind of hit, and be interested, comment down below. And then, yeah, keep searching for that perfect pour. Cheers, guys.